me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Let's go! I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill it up engine. In my thoughts up.
Welcome back, everybody. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Today we're going to be talking about why I think that Xavien Howard and Jalen Ramsey are going to be the best cornerback duo in the NFL next year. There's a couple of reasons why. We're going to go over them. So Jalen Ramsey and Xavien Howard have two different careers, but at one point these two were the top cornerbacks in the NFL. So, you know, obviously Xavien Howard this past year has had a down year, but if you look at most of his years in the league, Xavien Howard has been one of the most predominant corners that the Dolphins have had for a really long time, and one of the most predominant corners in the NFL. And looking at Jalen Ramsey, I don't care what you say, the guy has been either the number one or the number two corner in the NFL every single year that he's played out of FSU. So honestly, what I can start talking about first off is that we will talk about the interceptions. So what we are getting with our two guys here is going to be Xavien Howard in his career since 2016. They both were 2016s. Has had 28 interceptions, and Jalen Ramsey has had 19 interceptions. So in, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in a 7-year span, these two have combined for 47 interceptions. That is ridiculous. That is basically, for a 7-year span, it's just about like almost 7 interceptions per year between the two of them, or with the two of them in the league. So you can kind of consider, if this relative state keeps going, you are going to have two guys that most likely will have 7 interceptions this coming year. 3.5 each, I guess you could say. If that is the case, that is a phenomenal year, just by interception standards. So even with interceptions, I mean, if you have 3 interceptions as a cornerback in a year, it's a pretty good year. That's pretty dominant as a year. And that would be the average that they usually have throughout their whole year span. What I can say too is, I think what we are also not going to really talk about too much, but is something that is understated, is how they're going to work off of each other. So the thing is, last year is Xavien Howard has always been dominant when he's able to look at the quarterback. Whereas last year when we were running the defense that we were running, he could not really do that, and that is why people would take advantage of him, because a lot of his stuff that is really good is when he is looking down at the quarterback and judging the eyes. So honestly, he picked off Tua in practice the other day, and the thing is it's exactly what he is doing, which now Vic Fangio is allowing both of them to do. Jalen Ramsey and Xavien Howard both are much better when they're looking at the quarterback. That is why Jalen Ramsey can play safety and all these other things, because both of them, they play better when they judge the quarterback. If you put them in positions where, obviously Jalen Ramsey, he is a little better than Xavien Howard at man coverage, but again, Xavien Howard was pretty much injured all last year. If you put them in the airspace of being able to look at the quarterback, which, when we are doing these things, you are considering that we are working on safeties that can cover in different areas of the field. So now you have two guys that look at the quarterback. So what you are doing with that is you are playing overhead or underneath coverage because you understand who the matchups are. Vic Fangio's defense is going to be very predicated on understanding who the matchups are, where you need to be, and understanding what you need to take care of in those specific zones. If you don't have a coordinator that is very specific about those things, aka what we had last year, people get burnt for big plays. People don't really know what their assignments are. People aren't understanding who to get and who not to get. And this is why it is very precise to do these things. So when you have two cornerbacks like this in a system that allows you to look at the quarterback, the interceptions are going to go up and the passes deflected, because now the quarterback is trying to figure out, you are giving them extra time. Whereas you put them on an island, any quarterback it's hard to do that against these receivers in the NFL. Any cornerback, if you put them on an island, it is going to be tough for them to compete with the receivers. And I think we judge a lot of the bad plays, but it's the same thing like an offensive lineman. You judge them on the bad, but for the most part, most offensive linemen do what they need to do. It's just some of them let up a little more than other people, and that's what you judge them based on, good and bad. So it is hard to play on an island. There are only a few corners that were elite at this, playing on an island against number one receivers and not allowing them to get plays. So with this defense, we are going to see a lot more of them looking at the quarterback. Now, the last thing that is going to be great about these players is that you can move them everywhere. So just like on the offense, where you can basically move Tyreek and Jalen Waddle all over the place, Jalen Ramsey and Xavien Howard can be put in slot. They can be put in outside. Jalen Ramsey can play safety. So can Xavien Howard. You can move these guys everywhere. So actually disguising them on the defense, whereas most people just need to play the X or the Y receiver, these two can play slot. They can play outside. They can play really most of the DB positions on the field. So now you can disguise where everybody is going, which is going to help them out a lot. Because again, when you put them on an island, you are just basically saying you're going against this guy. If you're injured or one false step, you're going to let them have a big play. Now you are going to disguise them all around the field, and they're playing more zone defense, which again has eyes on the backfield. Now you have them attacking the offense in a different way, whereas before they were getting attacked by the offense. You are going to have a cornerback duo that is going to really just change it up every single play, and you're not going to know who's going to be guarding what. So it could be basically like one person is following a receiver, or they could switch on and off who gets who and who gets what, and then you have Javon Holland in the backfield that's going to help out. It's just going to be one of those things where these two are going to play off of each other so much that it's going to allow our defense, and it's going to allow them to showcase that they are the best cornerback duo. They are so versatile. Both of them are. And honestly, the tackling by Jalen Ramsey, and Xavien Howard, they're both really good at tackling, really good at stripping as well. So when they're going to play off each other disguised and all that, it's just going to be ridiculous to watch. So today, just wanted to make a quick video kind of showcasing why we have the best cornerback duo. The Eagles, they got who they got. They're older. You got the Denver Broncos. They got who they got, but, they don't have the same potential that these two do. Both of these guys have been the top corner in the league at one point. Can't say that from any of the cornerback duos in the league. Jalen Ramsey and Xavien Howard in their respective years were the best corners in the league. At one point it was 2020, Xavien Howard was the best corner in the league. And I think it was like 2019 2021 where Jalen Ramsey was like the best corner in the league. And even the last year that he still was great. So we have the best corner in the league, cornerback duo in the league. It's going to be ridiculous this year, and the defense is going to be changed just based upon these two and how they're going to attack offenses. Hope you like this video. As always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Fins up, baby. Peace.